Right, take 3. Video for Gustauv. I got really excited about that idea of like having a 5-piece drum set that was like solid jarrah. So I started researching to see if I could find anyone in the world who's ever done it, and that's how I came across that other guy who does snares only. But of course none of his is old growth forest, it's just new stuff. And this is really no competition at all because we've got the old stuff. So I'll quickly give a recap on what we're doing. I've had to wrap this right up underneath because termites got through the brick and tried to get into the timber, which has been wrapped up in the rain. Fingers crossed. It's really impossible for them to get into it. I'm not sure how I've done this. Double it back over. It's been raining, so I've managed to keep it bone dry. So that there is the sister piece of the bit that you've already got. Of course, you've got one half of it. The other 2 halves of that is inside, ready to go. So that however many snare drums you got out of that, you can get the same amount again from the other half. So this is the second piece, again, all from the same tree, all new timber, all as old as the hills. It was purchased back in the 1960s. And been sitting there ever since. The grain is still lovely. It's just, yeah, as I said, from the same tree. I don't know whether it went end to end. More than likely it was. I'd say the other piece that you had has come from there and they've just docked it and then just done it in sections. Maybe one big piece, but you can't get jarrah this size purchased brand new anymore. It's impossible. These pieces here, I'm hoping to make a dining table out of. But they are from, turns out, I went through the interview again with John Morton to try and get more about the history about this piece. He said these pieces came from the Fremantle wool sheds. It's quite a historical building. It was built back in the 1930s, late 1930s. And of course they used to ship, wool is one of the big commodities of Western Australia. And there were 4 buildings, 3 of them have been torn down. One still stands. And there is a YouTube video of someone actually panning around inside one of the old buildings. It's still there. I'll put a link underneath this one if you want to check that out. But there is a scene, it's mainly graffiti because kids have gone in there and graffitied the place. But there is a scene where it shows the flooring, and the floorings all missing, and you can see the cross members of this huge building, and this is where it's from. You can tell by the size of it that the flooring would have sat on the top of that. And I think he obtained that many decades ago as well. So again, that is old growth forest as well, because it would have been obtained back in the 1930s. But I'm hoping, if it need be, I can send it, but really there's enough there to make a lovely dining table out of that. But this piece is just too big, obviously too thick to be a dining table. But I think it would make a great drum kit. And then the length of it, what I was thinking to keep the costs down because of the weight, remember we can't go over 15 kilo. So what I was thinking, I think you said about 20 inches to better make a floor drum and even have enough timber large enough to do a foot drum. If I was to cut it at 20 inches, the other 2 sections I can then cut in half and we can send that and you can make snares out of that, or toms as well, toms out of that one. But this one here being bigger, if I was to cut it into thirds, long ways, should be more than enough timber to get a floor drum and a floor tom out of one of these sections. Obviously I pick the best, I think the way it goes. I might actually go off this half here. I'll have a look at it. It's actually more intact. I think cut the thirds, actually I probably would go this end. But well, I'll investigate that at the time. But that's my thinking, is that in terms of weight, get 3 sections out of that, 2 sections out of that, and there's more than enough there to do an entire drum kit. And you would be the only person on the planet Earth that has a solid jarrah, old growth forest, full drum set. As far as I can see, no one's got one. No one who can get a hold of this timber. Even that other guy, he can't get a hold of that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this back up. Let's keep this video short.